Blessed are you who have come to celebrate in this house of God. Mi adir al hakol, mi baruch al hakol, mi gadol al hakol, hu yivarech et hechatanim hakala. O most awesome, glorious, and blessed God, grant your blessings to this bride and this groom. Surrounded by loved ones whose joy and prayers are with you here, you stand at this chuppah, symbol of your marriage, and may your home be a shelter against the storm, a haven of peace, a stronghold of faith and love. There is a Jewish prayer that we say at times like this. We thank God for bringing us to this moment, for sustaining us, for giving us life. And feel free to join in, or it's just as good to say Amen at the end, and it counts as the whole blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu vekiyemanu vehigianu lazman hazeh. I want to commend all of you for not pulling out your cell phones as much as you feel the urge. So I'm told there'll be excellent professional pictures, so there's no need at any time to do that. So we've been asked to keep our cell phones away. That's the housekeeping. And we move to the ceremony. But before we begin, we want to acknowledge the remarkable Shechianu of Laura's grandmother, Claire, Josh's nanny, Natalie, and Sabi Lewis, whose hearts must be brimming with joy at this time. We also remember those whose dream is being fulfilled in this moment, who are with us in spirit, but not in person. We remember Laura's grandpa Glenn, Grandpa Ted, Grandma Ruth, and Josh's Grandpa Lloyd and Grandpa Marilyn. So many friends came from so near and far. How to honor everybody? So Josh and Laura chose one to represent all of you. So I'm going to call for Natalie Chan to read a beautiful poem in honor of the bride and groom. Why don't you come up to the mic?
The Master's Speed by Robert Frost. No speed of wind or water rushing by, but you have speed far greater. You can climb back up a stream of radiance to the sky and back through history up the stream of time. And you were given this swiftness, not for haste, nor chiefly that you may go where you will, but in the rush of everything to waste, that you may have the power of standing still. Off any still or moving thing you say. Two, such as you, with such a master speed, cannot be parted nor be swept away from one another once you are agreed that life is only life forevermore. Together, wing to wing and oar to oar.
Thank you. A few words in the biblical tradition. The wedding ceremony has two parts, the erusin and the nisuin. The erusin is the betrothal, the commitment that the bride and groom show each other. And in biblical times, the nisuin, the moving in together into the home, happened at 12 months later. Since we don't want you to get on a plane again in 12 months' time, we are efficient and conflate both parts of the ceremony into one. But truly, you've already done the first part. You've made that commitment to each other in so many ways, too many ways to number. And we're here to bless that moment and for you to speak your commitments to each other with these vows.
Josh, from the first time I met you, I was struck by the kindness in your eyes, the warmth in your smile, and the curiosity you bring to a conversation. You've since enriched my life with your wit, wisdom, generous spirit, and boundless love. You help me savor the beauty in life through the joy that you find in music, art, nature, food, and words. You're the most thoughtful and hardworking person I know, and you're my greatest encourager and advocate. I'm inspired by your passion to build a more just world, your dedication to serving your community, and your steadfast support for the people you love. I'm grateful that we can share deep discussions about life's most serious questions and also laugh together about the silliest things. On any adventure we take together, with you I feel at home. I love you immeasurably, and I can't imagine a better partner to have by my side for life. Josh, with you I promise to delight in life's small wonders, to celebrate its glorious moments, and to stand together through its challenges. I promise to share my thoughts and feelings with you honestly and to listen to yours with patience and empathy. I hope to grow together, honoring each other's goals and accomplishments, and embracing each other's families and traditions as we cultivate our own. I promise to tend to our marriage with kindness and love, helping it deepen its roots, grow new branches, and blossom through the many seasons of our lives together.
Laura, from our earliest moments together, I felt an uncanny connection between us. I felt a conversation I could spend my whole life having, eyes I could spend my whole life gazing into, and a mind I could spend my whole life learning from. Nearly 7 years I have known you, and still almost every day, your beauty stops me in my tracks, bowls me over, sending sparkles down my spine. I admire you so deeply. The root of it, I think, is your devotion. Whether it is a handcrafted card you write for a loved one, or homemade baked goods you are bringing to a friend, you put so much care and thought into everything you do. Not just for the sake of perfection, but because that's what you believe we owe each other. Nowhere is that more evident than in your extraordinary work ethic and compassion as a physician. You carry your patients' pain. You make your patients feel less alone and less afraid. And when I feel the crush of work or other stress, you ensure I do not lose sight of what really matters. You keep me balanced. You help me find myself, and you have made me different than I otherwise would be. With your words and your wit, your family's love and traditions, your concerns about our society and our planet. Through you, I gather together what my life means. From today forward, I promise you this. With me, you can always be your most unvarnished self. I adore you for all that you are and all that you are not, and I always will. On your best days and on your worst, I will be there for you. And on the bad days, I'll try to remember that sometimes you don't need to hear my solutions. You just need my comfort and a hug. I promise not to take life too seriously, and to not let you take it too seriously either. I will keep on singing, whistling, and humming around the house. I will keep cooking elaborate meals for us and one day for our children. I will make sure we take time to delight in the beauty that surrounds us, to pause and feel together the love of our grandmas in an incandescent moon, or in the orchids on our windowsill. I will never again let work dominate my life. Our relationship and our family will be my sacred core. I promise to see your successes as my own. I will never presume that my career takes precedence. Sometimes our wants or our desires may differ, and when that happens, sometimes I will do things for you just because it's you. I don't have to want what you want in order to do it. The fact that you want it is reason enough. When life is challenging, I will not turn inward, nor will I turn away. I will return and return and return to you and to these reciprocal bonds we make today. Laura, I love you with all my being, and I will love you all the days of my life.
So much joy, so much pride in these fine two young people. Such richness. Could end the ceremony here, but there are some things we still have to do. The rings. So. Ani
Vadodi. Vadodi Lee.
Ani Ladodi Vidodi Lee.
In this moment, you married each other. With these rings, you consecrated yourselves to each other. The words you spoke are from the Bible. I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. And we'll celebrate that with a song, Zedodi. Zedodi, Zedodi, this is my beloved. Zedodi, friend. This is my beloved, my friend. Let our lives be intertwined, let our hearts be one, in faith and hope forever. Limitless my love for you, my devoted one, in faith and hope forever. Before we gathered, Josh and Laura and friends signed this document. I really loved what you said, Josh, because you encapsulated the spirit of the Ketuvah in your words and the additional commitments that you made publicly. This was once and is for some a legally binding document, but that's not what it is today for all the lawyers in the room. We take the old form and infuse that with love. And this is what you signed just before we all gather together. I'll read it out loud. On the 26th day of the month of August, in the year 2023, here in Chicago, Illinois, the bride, Laura Christine Arnson, daughter of Paul and Susan, and the groom, Joshua Mitchell Levin, son of Brad and Allison, enter the covenant of marriage as loving companions in life, as beloveds and friends. And they said, "We choose to walk life's path together. We pledge to each other our mutual trust and respect. We will offer support and encouragement for personal growth and fulfillment of our shared dreams. We will be slow to anger and quick to forgive. We will be open, honest, loyal, and devoted to one another. We promise to be faithful friends, companions, and life partners, and to comfort one another through life's joys and sorrows. May our love provide us with the freedom to be ourselves and the courage to follow both our mutual and our individual directions. We promise to honor our ancestors and families, treasure, enjoy, and continue the traditions we have inherited, and create a home filled with love and peace, freedom and compassion. Our home will be a place of openness, laughter, generosity, and respect. With our community of friends and family as witness, we now combine our separate faiths into one. All herein is forever valid and binding, and there are signatures to prove it. It's the tradition to bless sacred moments with a glass of wine or grape juice, the fruit of the vine. So I'll say the blessing and then invite you to share of the single cup. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Can I take a sip? Josh and Laura, it's been such a pleasure spending time with you in the months leading up to today. Josh, we know each other going way, way back. In fact, we met when I was younger than you are today, so that's going back a while. We met at Congregation B'nai Torah, and I dug through my drawer of talit prayer shawls to find the one that I was wearing then when we met so many years ago in Highland Park, and I still have the picture. When I arrived here, I wasn't born in the United States, as you may still be able to hear. I was introduced to the congregation by visiting families' homes, and Brad and Allison, of course, opened up their home. We brought a Torah scroll. I have a picture of you, Josh, holding the Torah scroll with me for a bit of support behind. You were a little small then. The Torah was almost bigger than you. And I was so pleased to hear from you and to learn of the path that you have taken and to discover the man you've turned into from that sweet boy. And Laura, it's been such a wonderful experience learning about you and getting to know you and hearing about your work and commitments, which are too many to numerate here, and everybody else knows it already. Just a little bit. Your commitment, as we heard, to medicine, to each other, to life, to dark chocolate, 70% at least, I think, right? And to the good things in life. You got engaged here at Cafe Brauer, right? Almost 2 years ago to the day, give or take, right? Labor Day, around Labor Day 2 years ago. And I know it takes a while for doctors and lawyers to clear their calendars. So maybe that's why it took a little bit longer to actually gather here today. And you met at Emory when you were two Midwesterners away from home. And then that was just the opening to everything else that has followed. And again, you spoke of your families, of the moments where you met your families, where this is so much more than it can even be here with just the two of you, which is already plenty, but the combining of the families, and you spoke in such wonderful, beautiful ways. I gave the bride and groom questions, and I got a full brief from Josh. Every answer was paragraph by paragraph, not a single typo, full of relevant details and really giving a full picture. The doctor had more other things to get to, so it was a little shorter, but just as compelling to hear about each other and the plans for the future and so on. You know, we're told in our tradition that the world was created exactly 5,783 years ago. The clock moves in a few weeks to 5784, and that's scientific. And we're told in the tradition, the question is asked, what does God do after that Herculean effort of creating the world in 6 days? What's of equal value and effort that could match the act of creation? And the answer is given, bringing people together, brides and grooms, to marry. That is the reenactment of creation, of recreation, of the miracle and joy as if and a new world is being created. Today's a pinnacle moment. It's the culmination of years of your relationship and generations of dreams that are actualized in this moment. And it's full of infinite joy and pride. And yet, from this mountaintop, there is even greater joy that I know will come to you, that perhaps is as yet unseen, but you can just begin to imagine that this fullness is just the opening to an even greater journey ahead. So we invite everybody to affirm and bless the bride and groom in your hearts. And if you want to turn around and sort of take in the loving faces of all who've gathered to affirm you, to be with you, to support you from this day on. And now we turn to the second part of the ceremony, the Shavat Brachot, the 7 blessings. And I'll chant them in Hebrew. The first blessing is a blessing over the wine. The second one is a blessing over all of creation. Just take in the beauty of creation. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shakol bara lichvodo. And we bless the mystery of nature that results in humanity. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer ha'adam. We bless the miracle of companionship, of love, of completing ourselves in another. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yatzar et adam b'tzalmo b'tzelem demut tavnito v'itkin lo mimenu binyan adeyad. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer hadam. The next blessing is the long one because it's all about joy. It's every possible synonym from the Bible for the word joy. And it's the opening to what is about to come. Sos tasis v'tagel Tzion mikibutz banei letocha b'simcha. Baruch atah Adonai mesameach Tzion b'baneha. Sameach tesamach reim ha'ahuvim. Kesamechacha yetzircha began Eden mikedem. Baruch atah Adonai mesameach chatan im hakala. We'll take a glass of wine, take a sip. Now it is my honor to offer the priestly benediction on behalf of all who know you, who love you, who will be blessed by your life. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you safe. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha vichuneka. May God's countenance fill you with light and grant you grace to give that to others. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May all who greet you, all with the spirit of the divine, raise their faces to you, and may you raise your faces to them, and so bring peace to the world. In a moment, we're going to smash the glass. There are lots of reasons for this. One is to say that this moment is irrevocable. It happened. And from this moment on, you go on with your lives to build and enjoy and celebrate. The traditional call, I hope I'm not stretching anybody's Hebrew too much. It's simply Mazel Tov. You may have heard it before. So after you hear the smashing of the glass, you call out Mazel Tov as loudly as you like. Mazel Tov!